Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Man, I have waited a long time to say that. To be able to say something as simple as welcome back to the shop. Guys, this is my shop. First, I got to apologize. I have been crazy busy over the past few weeks. And I know that I haven't had a video out in over 2 weeks. And how, listen, I appreciate that message you sent me, man. I really do. It kind of motivated me. But things have been a little bit crazy. Well, for one thing, I went out and hey, guess what? I'm ordained now. Now I'm an ordained minister. And then a week later, I just got out of prison. I was in prison for 4 days. Prison ministry. I was in prison for ministry. I wasn't in prison. No, I was in prison, but not anyway. You get it. I was doing prison ministry for 4 days. Um, but I thought I'd just give you an update and let you know. As you can see, I'm kind of moved in, kind of not moved in. All my stuff's in here, and I'll give you a quick look here. I can tell you the only thing that I've actually used so far is my miter saw, which is over there. I'll show you that in a minute, and my bandsaw. Um, Not really for a project, but because the basement steps are not supported, they're attached at the top and they're sitting at the bottom, and there's nothing in the middle. So I had to cut some supports for that, and that's fine. That's all well and good. Um, but I really wish I had a table saw for that. So I do have plans. There is electric is coming. There will be electric run. Um, there's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, 100 amp service coming into this shop. Uh, Easily going to be 3 different circuits. Or more if I need it with 100 amp service. Really, I could run 4 if I wanted to, but professionals are doing all that. I ain't touching that because I don't like getting shocked, basically. So I think they're gonna start on that next week. This is, golly, I don't even know what today is. It's Friday the 20th, recording this. So I think next week they're starting on electricity, which is awesome. Um, and then once that's in, then I can get things finalized as to where I want them. As you can see right now, you know what? I'm going to kick you over that way a little bit, and I don't want to do a shop tour because it's not set up yet, but I'll let you see kind of just roughly how it's all set up. So obviously we got the doors here, okay? And we did get everything brought in, and I got to thank a couple of folks from the church because they helped me carry all this stuff and lug it all in here. Over here, this is my mechanics box. You saw it in my old shop. It was way up in a corner out of the way. We talked about putting this in the basement, but if I'm working on a car, which I do, I don't want to have to run up and down the steps all the time to get a tool. We put a metal shed up. It's not big enough to put this in, so it's in the shop. For the meantime, it's got my bandsaw and the sander on it. I don't know if they're going to stay there. I don't know if this is going to stay here. Mainly because it's blocking one of my windows. By golly, I want my windows. But for now, that's where it's at. Over here, we talked about this. What's this thing called? Help me out here, someone. Lathe. My lathe. That's my lathe. I feel like Forrest Gump. That's my boat. This is my lathe. And apparently, like I said, I'm keeping this. I wanted to get rid of it, but I'm not allowed to now. I had a couple different guys invite me to their place. In fact, I went to one, and him and I turned a bowl. I turned this on after I put it together just to make sure it ran, and it does run. He gave me some instructions on some things I'll need to do to this to make it, I'll say, crafty, for lack of a better term. So if I want to turn bowls and things like that, not a big deal, kind of minor. I'm going to have to kick you over that direction now and show you what that corner looks like. But that's my lathe. That's my boxes. All right, coming over here, this is the table that always sat closest to the garage door when I was up north. And I have a feeling I'm probably going to try and make this a dedicated table for the planer and the joiner. I may have to extend it a little bit. I might have to do some work to it, but I'd like to have them on a dedicated table so I'm not picking them up and hauling them everywhere. because they're heavy. Okay, they're heavy, and I'm old. The table saw is pretty much really close to where it's going to be, but uh-oh, I'm hoping you can see that. In case you can't, she's going to need a little bit of adjustment. You think? It's just it didn't like the move. It wasn't happy with the move. This is no reflection on the movers by any means. They did a great job. It's just that things came loose in the move. Not a big deal. So I'm gonna have to take some time, get this reset back up again the way it's supposed to be. And you know how that works. Make sure everything's level and plumb and straight and all that. This is about where this is going to be, and I can get my fence all the way to the wall over here, and obviously all the way over here. As mentioned before, I'm going to drop my router into here. Haven't 100% figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but that's why we have YouTube, right? The Reformation Woodshop. If you watch that, if you don't watch that channel, watch it. It's pretty decent. He has essentially the same saw, and he put the router in his, and so I'll probably go back and watch his. So I'll have that done sooner or later, at some point. I think I'm going to flip you back around now, and we'll talk about what's going that direction. So coming off the table saw, my outfeed table, I set it up differently than what I had it up north. I have it running obviously this way instead. I don't really cut anything that I need 5 feet of outfeed table. So why have it this way running into the wall? I don't really need that. I don't really want to back the table saw up anymore because I want to have room to get that planer and router table out and move it if I need to. So it's over here. It's going to be against the wall. Biggest reason for that is I really like the idea of having this big open space here. I can come in the door. If I need to haul stuff in and out of the door, I got room to do that. And so I think this is good. Like I said, miter saw is here because I had a house project I have to do. Everything else is here because I had to empty out enough junk to get to what I needed. Tools are here because I had to help somebody with their battery. Big long story. Anyway, so this is where this is going to be. I am going to do some work to this table. I'm taking this top off. I think we talked about that too. I have another top I'm going to put on, and I'm going to put at least 2 drawers under this so that stuff like this and my hammers and my squares, you've seen my videos, they're always sitting on top of the table, and I don't have no room. A guy ain't got no room to work. So I'm gonna put at least 2 drawers under here. I'm gonna keep the overhang so that I got a place to clamp, but I'll be able to just reach down, open the drawer, get what I need, and then that way it's not all over the top of the table. I'm going to talk about this clock, but not right now. This clock is a very special clock to me, and one of my next videos I'll talk about that. Off of that, coming over here, I feel like I'm on Price is Right on one of the models, right? I'm a Barker's Beauty. No, I'm not. Anyway, at least half of this wall is going to be miter station. I can come down 8 foot and it'll put me about right here. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to build cabinets, but this is a church building. It's not my building. So I can't make permanent changes to it. So I'm going to make cabinets. I can affix them to the wall, but they need to be able to be taken out. And so I'm going to build a couple of cabinets here for a miter saw. I love this saw. I'll never get rid of it. I talked about this too, but there's another one that I want to get. And so I'm not going to build them to this saw. I'm going to build them to that one. But I'm thinking that they might end here. And what I may end up doing is bringing that mechanics box over and setting it in this corner instead. Because at the moment, there's nothing going there. The electric box, well, I'll kick you sideways again a little bit more. And we'll talk about this remaining area here. Okay, so this will, from this corner over, that'll get us to the door, and you'll get an idea as to what it's going to look like. Like I said, at the moment, there's nothing going in that corner. So I'm thinking maybe the mechanics box will come over here. I don't know that I necessarily like the idea of having a sander and a saw on top of the box, because inevitably I'm going to get dust all over my mechanics tools. And that's fine, but it's not fine. I don't want that. Um, just like all of you guys who have saws and all of that, and you know what that costs. Well, mechanics tools are expensive too. So I'd like to kind of keep them clean. So I might not put anything on there. Um, as far as I know, the plan is the main switch box, the main electrical box is going to go basically right here in this opening. And that'll leave my window access. My dust collector, obviously, I have it planned for right here, right next to the door, so that when this thing's full, I ain't lugging it all the way across the shop to get it out. I can just disconnect it, take it straight out the door. She's good to go. I am going to change my setup. I desperately want to get rid of the dust bag on that collector because it's a mess. It's a mess. I have a dust collector. My shop's incredibly dusty because of it. Come on now, that ain't the way to do it. So that's probably going to get mounted right here, somewhere right in here. I said I have someone that's going to come help me lay out the piping and give me some ideas on that, because I've never done piping, but I want to have piping come over to the table saw. I want to have access so that I can hook it up to the planer and the joiner, and I want to have something over here so that I can hook it up to the miter saw, and at least it makes me feel better. It's not really going to help. It's a miter saw, you guys know. But he's going to come and he's going to show me kind of how to do that. He's got a great dust collection system in his shop. I've been up to his place and he's got a great system. And so he's going to kind of help me map that out a little bit. And then that brings us back to the doors, and that's basically what I'm working with. And I'm shocked at how much room I have in here. In case you forgot, it's 14 by 20. I'm not going to insulate right off the bat. What I want to do is wait and see how this winter goes. Up north, I was in a garage with a concrete floor and a concrete block wall. The garage door did not seal 100%, and I had no trouble at all keeping that place warm. I don't think I'm going to have a problem keeping this warm, but we're going to give it this winter and see. I came down here to serve a church that needed a pastor, and for that, I am blessed, completely, totally blessed. But one of the things that my wife and I talked about was how great it's going to be to live down south where it's warmer. In the mountains, it's not. Ironically, if you're into that, we're basically getting the same temperatures that I had up north. And okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter. So we're going to take this winter. The only thing I know I'm going to do, and you can't see them, but up at the top of the peak on each end, there is a vent. And so probably somewhere around Halloween, end of October, beginning of November, I'll probably do something to block those off, because it's just a big cold air vent now. So, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But that's kind of where I'm at. Again, I know it's been a couple of weeks. Things have been really crazy. Things are going to slow down a little bit, but not much. But I will, at least once they get electric in, I'll be able to get out here. I can tell you my first project is a must project, because I made a promise. Right before I moved, a woman gave me just an entirely big, giant stack of cherry. I'm sorry. Her husband her husband had it cut down, milled on site. They stickered and stacked it. They covered it with 4 or 5 tarps, metal sheeting on top of that. And it's been sitting there for 18, 19 years. And so right before I moved, she said, I want you to come up and get all that cherry. And I asked her, I said, do you know what you have sitting here in money? And she says, I don't care about that. She said, and she asked for something very specific. I'm not going to give it away. It's a simple project. It's a very easy project to do. Could probably have it done in a half hour. But then again, we're woodworkers, aren't we? So we want to over engineer everything and make it better. And that's what this project is going to turn into also. I'm not going to give that away just yet, but it's going to be something simple and something nice that I can send to her through the mail. So I want to tell you that I think my last update was 350 subscribers. Excuse me, I'm going to start losing my voice now. But somewhere, I think it was 350 subscribers the last time I actually talked with you guys. Mind is blown again. Last night, I think I was at 802. And again, every time I do this, I tell you, I don't know what to say. I'm incredibly humbled that there's that many people that want to watch. And I appreciate it. You have to know how much I appreciate it. I don't know that you learn anything from me. I don't know if I'm learning anything while I do this. I still have 10 fingers, so I'm learning something. But if you guys are going to keep watching, I'm going to keep putting stuff out. I will eventually get back onto a regular schedule once this place gets electrified and I get things a little bit better placed and ready. I told you before, my wife got a big long list of things I need to build, and so we're going to get back into the swing of it. I will probably move from doing a video every week to maybe every other week. Because some of the projects are not going to be, I do my projects usually in a weekend, but some of these projects are going to take longer than that. So I might move to twice or once every other week. But if you guys are going to keep watching, I'm going to keep doing stuff. So again, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your comments. And I know that I got a lot of folks. I'm in America, okay? I'm in the United States, and for you guys that are in the United States, this isn't for you. I know that I have a lot of people overseas. I got a lot of people in countries like India. I'm going to give you a shout out, India, because you make up a large percentage of my viewers right now. Indonesia, thank you for watching me. And you guys are commenting on my videos, and you're encouraging me, and you're giving me thumbs up. And listen, folks, for you folks in what I'll call foreign countries, because I'm not in your land, I can go through and I can translate those. And so I know what you're telling me, and I appreciate the love that you're sending me. I really do. It's really quite humbling. So I feel like I'm babbling now. It's been a really emotional day already. And so I'm going to pack it in. I believe next week they're coming to put electric in this. And then, baby, we're going to fire this thing up and get her going again. God bless y'all. Thank you for watching. I'm going to see you on the next one.